Welcome to the System to Success show. On this show, we'll cover the best growth advice from top CEOs in North America and beyond. On each episode, your host, Jay Crutchfield, he's a former software engineer turned entrepreneur, created and maintained online marketing, online sales, and fulfillment systems for global brands. He offers non-traditional wisdom about business systems mastery, while his guests share the story of how they built their companies. Jay and his guests talk entrepreneurship, digital marketing, strategy, and business principles. But they also talk about what it means to be human with all the ups and downs, advances, and setbacks. And what he does is he takes his information and strategies that has helped catapult global brands and brings that to the small business owner to give them that advantage. Make sure to subscribe and follow for more of these business system mastery principles.
First of all, when you're using your chatbot, what I love to tell people is because you don't own that list, because Facebook could really shut down Messenger at any time or close down its API to marketers, what you need to do is get people on your chatbot. It's very easy to do and it's cheap. Get people into your chatbot and you need to be immediately asking them for their email and phone number, right? So how you decide to do that is totally up to you. So you could offer them a free download. It could be a mini course, but in order to get it, they also need to give you their phone number and their email. And the way a lot of people do it is they say, hey, do you want me to send this to your email as well? Give me your email. And people will put in their email. And then, hey, guess what? We also offer special discounts via text message. Do you want to sign up for our VIP club? And then they sign up for the VIP club. So not everybody's going to give you their information, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean that you can't follow up again with them later to see if they are willing to give it at that point in time, right? So I see a lot of people doing that. It's very important. I definitely advise people to do that. That way they can go ahead and get onto your lists. What I would say is that when you are following up, you need to kind of look at and create a system. I'm actually about to create a dashboard where I can kind of see like everything. Like, is this person so for example, if somebody's on my mini chat list and they sign up for my email list, I add a tag in my CRM, my Kartra, to tell me, okay, this is a mini chat contact as well. That way I know, right? But even in your chatbot, you can actually automate it so where if somebody gives you their email, you can automate it with your existing ESP and have an autoresponder respond to them that way. That way they're going ahead and getting a second touch point from you immediately, right? So whatever you are giving someone, whatever value piece of information you're giving someone in exchange for their information, you want to make sure that they're actually consuming it. And you want to make sure that you go ahead and get them on your email, on your SMS, if you have that, and make sure that you have a plan to nurture them via your chatbot too. And ManyChat actually offers all three of those things. So if you don't have like an email service provider already, or if you don't have a text message provider, ManyChat actually provides all of that for you. So it's like an all-in-one system, but they also allow you to kind of integrate with other systems as well. And there's always Zapier, right? So, I mean, if somebody is not, again, with a chatbot, if somebody's not opening up your message, you want to send them a follow-up message like, hey, it looks like you didn't get this, so go ahead and follow up with them there. My favorite ways to follow up, honestly, are chatbot and SMS, just because the open rates are higher. With email, they may see it, but they'll probably scroll past it, So email is still great. I'm not knocking email. It's just that, the open rates aren't as high. And oh, good Lord, if you're in e-com, then your emails are just going straight to promotions. And then you've got to fight with, 100 other marketers for the day. So chatbot is a great way to follow up. And speaking of e-com, I just want to touch on this really quick in case anybody does have an e-com shop. ManyChat does have some really awesome flows that you can use that allow you to recapture or recover lost sales and abandoned cart. And it gives you SMS follow-up. It's just awesome. So if anybody does have this, because I know this is going to be airing before the holidays. So if anybody does have e-com, please make sure that you're checking that out because they've got some really awesome stuff there.
Wow. And for the folks that you may have heard Stephanie say ESP, that's email service provider for you guys. And man, Stephanie, you touched on a couple things that had me like, oh wow, I can use that for this. And so I'm thinking about a couple of things. One of the things I was thinking about as you were mentioning that is, well, I didn't even know that MiniChat had SMS now, and so that is awesome. And the other thing I was thinking about is for those speakers that have those like coaching funnels, is it sounds like that MiniChat could almost be like a funnel in a sense to collect some of that information instead of taking them through web pages through the funnel. That's what it sounds like.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So any information that you can capture in ManyChat using that user input feature that I was talking about earlier, you can store that into a Google Sheet. I've done applications before in ManyChat and it works very well. You just have to let people know. People have to be aware first that they're about to go through an application. So, it can't be like they're randomly messaging you and then they get like the application for coaching, because then they're going to be like, wait, what's this? How long is it going to take? So again, kind of setting those expectations and making sure that it flows naturally. So for example, if you have a link and you are telling people, because you can do ref URLs or just a URL basically that goes straight to your bot and it goes straight to the flow that you need them to go to. So if you have something like that, you could just give that to people and say, hey, here's my coaching application. Go ahead and fill this out. And then we'll contact you, once we get the information, and done. You could store the information in a Google Sheet. Everything's there. You can follow up with the person via bot, via live chat, via phone, however you want to do it, but everything's there for you. Everything is there that you need.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, it sounds like it's definitely time for me to jump back in.
Yeah, it's such a great tool, and it's so convenient. Messenger, I believe, has over 1 billion users. It's just such a convenient tool to have in your arsenal. And the thing about it is, email is great. I still do love email. I think the thing that like daunts me about email is the fact that I feel like I have to write these super long, just, copy heavy. It's just a bit much for me. Whereas like with the chatbot, you can just get right to it and send it out and get the information that you need. There have been times where I've sent out emails and, to my list asking for information or saying like, hey, reply with your struggles or, what have you, and crickets. But I do it with my bot and I get tons of answers. So yeah, I mean, email is definitely great. I feel like it sounds like I'm shading email, but I'm really not. I'm just saying, chatbots are just a really great tool to have in your arsenal for when you're really trying to reach people and you're really trying to get answers and get data. A lot of people will talk with the chatbot. A lot of people sometimes will not respond back via email. So, but then again, it also depends on, are your emails really being delivered? If they're going straight to spam, then of course you're not going to get any answers, right? So it depends on a lot of different factors, but with Messenger, there is no spam filter, right? So you can get blocked let me take that back. You can get blocked if you're doing something spammy. But what I'm saying is there is no other inbox for your message to go to, right? It goes straight to their inbox. They can either open it or they cannot. If they open it, we need to make sure that there's a high chance of them responding on the very first couple of steps so that we can get what we need and we can deliver value to the patient or to the client.
Yes, and for any people that work with at Facebook that may be watching this, please don't add a spam
Please
folder.
don't. Yes, please
Please,
don't.
please do not do that.
I'm giving out ideas, huh?
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, okay. And so for folks that they're jumping in, I know you talk about some rules on that side. And so, like, what's the biggest mistake you've seen people make with using chatbots?
Oh man, I would say a couple actually. One is not being personal. The chatbot gives you like the perfect opportunity to get super personal with the end user. So not being personal, sending too many messages within a short time frame. So we have that 24-hour time frame. And you can always reopen up that window by using URLs and QR codes and things like that via email and via SMS. So there's tons of ways to do that, but sending too many messages within a 24-hour time frame. And also not using them at all. It's such a powerful tool and you can get some great information Man, I just left the mini chat conference a couple weeks ago, and I love going to these events because you get to see things that you've not seen before, and you can just do so much with these chatbots. And the engagement is there. It's there. So if you're just not using it, but you're also maybe like not happy with how your emails are performing, chatbots are a great way to go. They're a great way to go. So if you're not using one, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and start exploring them, to see how they can work for your business. But chat marketing in general is not going anywhere. People are texting more, they're on their phones more, they're messaging more. It's not going anywhere. So if you're not using one at all, I would see that that's actually definitely the biggest mistake. But yeah, not being personal enough, not referring to previous conversations that you've had. So for example, if somebody's giving me their phone number once, I don't want to continue asking them like what's their phone number. They've already given it to me, it's already on file. All I need to do is confirm if that's still the best phone number for them. But I would say those are probably the biggest mistakes I've seen.
Okay. And so for those folks that may be saying to you, Stephanie, and this sounds great, but I'm not really technical. Like how can I get started even with like a simple type of standard flow?
Yeah, so ManyChat makes it super easy for you to put together flows. What I would say is once you get into ManyChat, you can navigate to the growth tools section. And this is where you can actually put together a flow and put it somewhere where you already have existing traffic, right? So you can put it on your website, you can do a link and, have that link in your email or something like that. What I would say is get started with something super simple, right? So let's say you're doing a Facebook Live and you want to do maybe like a poll, right? Or you want to do like a quick survey, and you can tell people to enter your survey to get, maybe a $25 gift card or whatever your call to action is, right? You can set up a very simple flow and create and attach it to a link and use that in your Facebook Live, right? If you're in a group. If you're in a page, you can do, a growth tool, or a Facebook comments growth tool, and that'll help you there. But I would probably start off with maybe even something easier than that. Let's say something to where you're telling people like, hey, if you go to this link, I will give you my newest free ebook, right? And to get started, I want to be clear on this. I told somebody the other day, it's hard for me to simplify it because there's just like so much that you could do. So I'm going to share this, but just know I'm thinking of this on a much larger scale than what I'm about to share with you. But just to get you started, what I would say is you could do something like a messenger ref URL, and that's in the growth tools section of ManyChat. And you can just do a message where you just have a file in it. And that file can be a PDF or something like that, something free that you want to give your audience. And if they go to the link that you set up, and it could even just have a quick message that says, hey, thanks for requesting your download. Here it is, right? And put the text message in there and then put the file in there, because you can actually upload files into ManyChat. And you could connect that to a link. Boom. There you have something to where you can give to anybody. And if they want your ebook, there it is. All you have to do is give them that link, right? Now, I'm really itching to say that after you do that, you want to, gather some data and do this and do that. But if you just want to get started very quickly, that's a super easy way to get started, get somebody on your list, and deliver something of value.
Okay. Yeah, definitely sounds like something to at least dip their toe in the water.
Exactly. Just so you can see how it works and, yeah.
Okay. And so some of the things that, Stephanie, I was thinking about, we talked about like the coaching side, we talked about courses. And so like for somebody that may be doing, like, let's say they're doing just on their profile page, let's say, and they want to do just a Facebook Live, like how can they utilize even with like Messenger and ManyChat, even with the use of doing like a Facebook Live?
Yeah, so if you're going to be going live in your group or on your personal page, then you would want to use the Messenger Ref URL growth tool. So that's the link that you get, and you can even personalize the link. It doesn't have to be, it comes like with that string of like random numbers and letters and stuff at the end, but you can personalize it so that it has your own custom slug. But whenever you're doing your topic, you want to make sure that you're mentioning what you're going to be giving them at the end. And then at the end of that, then you can drop the link. And then once you have the replay up, then you can kind of edit the description and put the link inside of the description so that they get it. You want as many people as possible getting your free download or whatever it is that you have to offer. But you can use the Messenger Ref URL. You can even with ManyChat utilize the keyword features and have people text a keyword. So I was testing that the other day. And so you can actually do that as well. And you could set up like automations behind that and all that good stuff. But you can do that with your page, and then with your, that's your personal profile. And then with your page, you can use the Facebook comments 2.0 growth tool in order to get people to download something. So that's when, if somebody comments on your post with a particular keyword, then the bot triggers, it will immediately send them a message. That way there's no necessary, like they don't have to click on anything. It's like immediately done, right? And the bot will trigger a message and it immediately goes to them, and then you can send them whatever flows that you would like.
Okay. And so as you were mentioning that, I was thinking like, man, why am I using this tool for my CRM, and I was using like Twilio for SMS messages. I was like, oh, I can get a lot of that stuff all together in ManyChat. Man, that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, you can. I think it's also about making sure that you're clear about the data that you're capturing and make sure that you're actually capturing it. So like I said, there are some things that I kind of want to put into a dashboard, so that I can kind of look at all the data and just kind of see who is where, if these people are not on my bot list, how am I going to get them on my bot list? How am I going to keep them there and all that good stuff? But yeah, it helps you capture some really great information. It helps you really personalize the experience based on the information that you have. It's really great. It's really great. So what I would say is it definitely eliminates the need for, SMS provider. And then also ManyChat, because they want people to go omni-channel, they're always kind of giving out like free emails and free SMS. I know they did it, I think last year, right before, I actually think they did it three times actually, very recently. So a couple of the times it's like they're just trying to get people to go omni-channel, right? And then I know they also gave away free SMS before Facebook made a huge update about the 24 hours because they wanted people to go ahead and start going omni-channel as soon as possible. So, I don't know if it's in their schedule or what it is, but I do know that they are always kind of giving out like free SMS and free email. So recently I just got 20K free SMS from ManyChat and 200K free emails, because they want us to go omni-channel. So I don't know any other provider that does that.
I was going to say, you guys, you may want to go ahead and sign up for ManyChat right now. but wait till the conversation's done. So Stephanie, definitely been enjoying this conversation on this side. And so as we're looking to close this out, like what's one of the last things that you really want to leave our audience with as far as why they should be using ManyChat? And I'll just leave it at that. Why should they be using ManyChat right now in their business, and what are they missing out on if they don't?
Yeah, hands down, ManyChat is just one of the most powerful ways to build an intimate relationship with your customers. So I don't know about you, but I feel like everybody should truly want to have a tribe, right? And I know that word has kind of been overused within the last few years, but your tribe isn't just like your email list. It's people who reply to you. It's people who you have a bond with. It's people who respect you and you respect them. It's a mutually beneficial relationship that you have with these people, right? ManyChat allows you to build those types of sustainable relationships, right? It's very different than email. It's very different than a lot of other marketing channels. So if you are someone who is looking to build a long lasting business because you have the relationships, you have the community around you, then ManyChat is definitely something that you need. And even if you already have that, it's something that it will help you maintain. What you're missing out on, wow, conversations that you just can't get anywhere else, right? Unless you are manually leading a conversation, right? Sometimes people don't feel comfortable being vulnerable in front of other people, but when they think they are talking to a machine, then they get a little bit more vulnerable. I used to work with a brand that did marriage advice, and it was like a big marriage blog. And everybody would always write into the messenger bot saying, I'm having trouble with this, I'm having trouble with that. But if we would post on our page, the response was a little bit different, right? It wasn't as in depth, it wasn't as in detail, it was much more negative. Whereas it was, and I don't mean that in a bad way, when people are hurting, they say bad things, right? But in the chat bot, you get people who are truly looking for help. They really are vulnerable. They are at a crossroads and they really need that assistance, right? And so if you can put together a system that helps them get that assistance, they're forever grateful for you, you know? So building those relationships, getting insight that is, you'd probably have to pay like a focus group for, you know what I'm saying? And half the time, they're just there for the donuts and the coffee and the $5, you know what I'm saying? So just getting that detailed information that you can use to improve your marketing is truly priceless.
Oh, no, I'm all like, sign me up all over again, Stephanie. I know I need to start back utilizing it now on that side. So yeah, I don't know about you guys watching this, but I know I'm about to be signing up again, and you should too. So for those folks that want to connect with you, Stephanie, where should they go?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook. My Facebook handle is Marketing with Stephanie. So you can find me there, send me a message. I'm always in the live chat. So you can always send me a message there and I'll get right back to you. You can also send me an email at hi@chatbotsdecoded.com and we can chat it up there as well.
Awesome. Well, Stephanie, I really enjoyed this conversation with you. I know our audience has enjoyed it as well. And I'm pretty sure that some folks are going to start utilizing ManyChat and chatbots as a result of this. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And I do have a link for my demo bot for those of you who don't fully understand, you know, chatbots and how they work. I've got a link for you and we'll put that down below so that you can kind of check that out and see exactly how they work. But it's always a pleasure to come on and chat about this. Like I said, I love speaking and training on these things, and I had a blast today. So thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Our pleasure. So guys, again, make sure you start using chatbots so that you can strengthen those relationships with your clients and even start to secure some more clients on that as well too. So go ahead and start using that today, because that's what Stephanie would tell us to do as well. All right, guys, you take it easy.